God is dead. Or so the phrase goes. Every edgelord, counterculture wannabe knows this phrase, but do you know the rest of it? God is dead. His blood is on our hands, and no amount of water will wash away the sin, or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. But the thought is there. We killed God, or the concept of him, or his laws, or however you want to interpret that. And here I am, as a homeless person, living the homeless lifestyle, walking amongst what would normally be normal, polite society, but we don't have a normal, polite society anymore, and that is where I'm at. Here I am, the raging anarchist, counterculture, pizza cutter, all edge and no point that I've been my whole life. This is a phrase that I know all too dearly. I watched Zeitgeist before I fully hit puberty. You know, these are things that have always gone through my mind, and here I am forcing myself to realize what is tradition. Why tradition, I guess, more specifically. And I'm starting to see the purpose of it. I am a militant atheist, all things considered, but I am unfortunately a living practicing Christian by virtue of the greater society at large, because basic societal standards are slipping every day. And the metaphor I often give, or the example is grocery carts. I'm a homeless person. Every time I go to the store near me, I put everyone's carts back. They're floating around the parking lot. They're not in the stalls. They're up on curbs. But the worst thing is that people put it behind the door. And it's one of those automatic sliding doors. They put it behind the door so that the door hits the cart and doesn't open. So there's only about a fucking 4-inch gap. The added bonus to that is when the door swings open, it creates an axis so the fire escape, rather, when it swings open, can't open, possibly. If the main fire exit is blocked, everyone inside that building is screwed if there's a fire. Because one person just didn't care enough to put the cart back. Because it's been a slippery slope of lack of accountability and responsibility. And as a side tangent, I've had people talk crap to me saying it makes the store look bad if I return the carts. Or this, that, or the other. Why am I bothering with this, that, and the other? And it just seems like that's the excuses made by the people who are the ones who are not returning their carts. It's annoying. Everyone who actually returns their carts does not think or operate like that. And those are the people shifting the blame to me because I'm returning 5, 6, 7, 8 carts in every trip because other people don't. So I'm getting back to the point. These basic societal standards that we used to hold dearly are slowly disappearing. And it makes me wonder now, is the Bible as bad as everyone claims it is? Is Christianity as bad as it claims it is? I mean, we all know the Westboro Baptist Church and where it can go. And I'm not going to open the can of worms of the Crusades, but that's a whole other misconception that people bring up when Christianity goes awry. But the deeper I look into the Crusades, the more I realize it was justified. And current era issues that we deal with are a prime example of why the Crusades were justified. Islamic statehood and their crap has been the thorn in every society going back for thousands of years. Leaving that alone. Getting to the point though, so we get back to the tradition idea. You know, people often say America is a Christian country and a Christian society, and I always had umbrage with that, or took umbrage with that. It always left a bone in my craw. And I'm now understanding the point and purpose behind something like that, because when we don't have basic standards that are within the Judeo-Christian Bible, just basic standards of how to treat each other, just the 10 Commandments even, you know, like things fall apart. So like, you know, everyone wants to get all upset about the abortion debate, and this is where it's getting really hot. It's a loaded subject, but when we have this semantics argument over the point of conception and what is life, we lose sight of a bigger picture issue. Where do we value life? What is the value of life if we can just arbitrarily define a point of human existence? Oh, well, 37 and a half days is just a clump of cells in a zygote, and then 38 and beyond is a human being. or this, that, or the other. That's why I'm forced to stick to the point of conception argument, in that human life is there from the point of conception, and so therefore is its value. Because the reason why I'm making this argument, and it is very valid if I didn't lose everyone, is it's kind of hard to tell, but I have a nice nifty little scar right there. That's from being stabbed. That was the second time I was stabbed in 1 month, December 9th and December 19th. These are from people that are 30 and under. These are people that are brought up on a lot of these principles and ideas and the lack of Christian ideals. And these are people that elevated a simple argument to lethal violence right out the gate. No hesitation. I'm old school. I was raised on, if you have a problem with someone, you take it behind the fucking woodshed. You fucking deal with it. The winner picks up the loser. You shake each other's hands and you either walk your separate ways or you go get a fucking beer. Because you know what? Every dude's best friend usually is the dude they had a fucking drag out brawl with. That was the old school way. That doesn't exist anymore. Kids don't fucking fight no more. It's how quickly can I end the fight? How quickly can I knock you the fuck out and then hurt you while you're down? Or can I fucking just kill you? How many court cases do we have playing out right now that feed into that? Carmelo Anthony, for example. He took disrespect to a lethal level. Or let's do the inverse. Let's not do the socially politically charged thing, my MAGA Chud perspective. What about Chud the Builder? Going out and deliberately weaponizing language to get people elevated. And look what that situation got him into. He knew what he was doing, he knew who he was upsetting, and he knew how he was going to upset it, whether it's right or wrong, whether it's a principled argument or not. You're setting someone up for failure, and then you took lethal action because your value of human life is so degraded. This is both sides of the political spectrum. I am not taking sides on this. So why tradition? What's the purpose of tradition? And traditional values? Well, I'm tired of watching people pull the ladder up behind them. I'm tired of watching people throw sticks in the path behind them. Doing some Looney Tunes shit and flipping the sign around so other people get lost in the fucking woods. I'm tired of watching people step over the corpses of everyone else to get to where they are. And here I am in a fucking tent because I made a poor choice that made my life harder to live. I can't do what I want to do to live a sane, sober, moral, and prudent lifestyle. So I am living idly, busking, and making music and doing any kind of creative way to make a way in my life, and I fail constantly, and it sucks and it hurts. I had a miserable day today, but I made some good money and a lady tipped me and it was great. But I also had someone be really fucking mean to me too. I just want to get back to a time that I wasn't even born in. I don't know, the Turner Classic Television America. I miss the good old days. Waking up to watch Saturday morning cartoons. Sitting around the Christmas tree first thing in the morning with everyone opening presents. Family board game nights. Camping. Fishing. Hunting. Holidays. Potlucks. Community-led events. Block parties. Farmers markets. All of the fun events that are on post. 4th of July. Down at the waterfront. The community Easter egg hunts. And so on and so forth. Everything just feels so fake now. And I just want it to go back to normal. And so I'm out here brute forcing how I act and how I behave. Because I've spent most of my life being shit. And I see what it does, and I bear the consequences physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything. It just doesn't have to be this way, though. It really doesn't. But someone has to do the work, and I'm no saint. I can't even maintain my own responsibilities well enough. And I'm sitting here passing judgment on others. But it's a bigger picture thing. Because the burden would be less on all of us equally if we just took time to get out of our phones, get out of our politics, and just get back to basic values again. Time will tell. Good men make good times. Good times make bad men. Bad men make bad times. Bad times make good men. And so the story goes.